Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. It's Maria. Today we are making DIY wood skewers Christmas trees. Let's get to it. Okay, so if you guys saw my video with that when I made the believe sign, I used one of the metal cup holders from the dollar store. So I cut the top off and the bottom off, and I just used like the mesh that was in the middle, or that metal piece that was in the middle. So I put those to the side, the top and the bottom, because I knew I was going to use them for something else, but I wasn't sure what I was going to use them for then. But I felt like these were the perfect pieces for the bottom of my Christmas trees that I'm making here. So this one doesn't have like a middle section, so I have to add something in the middle to give it that support for when I put the stem on. So I cut a piece of poster board off, and then I started to use these jingle blocks that I had extra, but they needed to fit on one side because one was too long on the other. So I marked that off, and then I used my mini miter saw to cut the piece that I needed for that, because I wanted to make sure that it all fit. So after several attempts and cutting, a couple pieces, like small pieces here and there, um, I started to fit it in place, and I had to cut another small piece because there was a gap between the other two in the middle. So I needed to cut that in place and like cut that small piece so I can put it where it belongs, so it can fit perfectly within the circle. Um, with here, I used my small pliers for the bottom part because I still had like some sharp edges that I couldn't get cut with, and I didn't want that to bother me when I was going to start putting the skewers on that. So I just used my pliers to squeeze that in place, and they can flatten them down. Moving forward, I started to glue these Jenga blocks onto the poster board. But after I glued them on here first and then put them onto the metal piece, it didn't line up the way it was before. So I didn't like how that turned out. So I said, you know what, let me just take this poster board out because I really don't need it. So I ended up taking them off of that, and I glued those pieces together, and then I put them onto that rim part of the cup that I used, that I had taken out. So I glued those pieces together, and then I ended up putting this one to the side for a bit, and then I start working on the bottom piece. And once I started doing that, I just grabbed like the skewers and I start gluing them in the inner part. But I put some extra glue on the edges of this one to make sure that the edges are also gonna be drying, like gluing the piece together. So here's a small piece that I put the pieces in because they were like that I used the flyers for to flatten out, because I'm putting the skewers in the inside of this one. I didn't want the metal pieces that were sticking out to affect it or bother it in any kind of way. So that's why I did that. And I didn't want to get cut with it either because they were pretty sharp. So I grabbed the skewers and I started putting them in the bottom, and then I glued them on the top. So I started out making like a T or a cross, four corners, however you want to see it. And I started out with four pieces, and then I worked my way in between, and that's how I ended up doing it all around the whole bottom rim. And then I started with the bottom, then glued some on the top, and so on. But that's how I started to do this part. I don't show you the whole thing, but I'm not sure how many skewers I used on this one, but I did use like a whole bunch of, I think in one part it's probably like a few layers on here once I start to paint it. But I'm pretty sure you can see that once I start to paint it. But anyway, I put a few pieces on there, and I after I was done with that, I grabbed these wood stems from the dollar store that I also got from the dollar store, and I started to put the one that I felt like went perfect with it. But they're like, a lot of them are not cut evenly, so I didn't want the tree to look like it was slanting a little bit. So I had to go through a few of them to make sure that I grabbed the right one so the tree wouldn't look like it was falling to the side or anything. Um, so once I picked the right one, I glued that to the bottom of that. And then I used Hey Sailor by DIY Paints to paint this tree in this color. Like I said before, my theme is blue and gold. So once I am done doing this, I think I just do, well, I can't really say how many layers I do of paint, but I just cover as much as I can because, like I said, some of the skewers are on the inside and I couldn't catch those with the brush, but I ended up just painting it the best that I could with the blue. So I have these, they're beads, but they're like half beads, you would say, the flat side and then the round on the other side. So I grabbed these and I use Golden Rule by DIY Paints, and I want to make these my ornaments for the tree. So I grabbed my gloves and I started painting these this color, and I decided that I didn't want to use them for this tree. I am going to use them for the other tree because it's a little bit bigger. So what I did was I did end up painting them in gold anyway, and then I moved on to painting, like putting some of the gold onto the tree that's already made there. So with my fingers, after I was done doing that, I do put whatever's on my fingers and I grab some more onto the tree. So you see like the lines. It's not completely painted in gold. I just rub my hands down and my fingers down so you can have some of the gold on there. Okay, so this is the second tree. I started doing this one the same way that I did the other one, doing the four corners, and then I work my way around, glue the top, make sure it has like that cone shape. So the only difference with this one is that the first one, I glued the sticks in the inside of that bottom rim. These are glued onto the outside of it because this is like the top of the cup. So I started to cut that metal part off of it. It was left like a little thing sticking up, so that's what I'm leaning the sticks on with the hot glue, and then I'm gluing them on the top to give it that cone shape. After I did that, I put as much sticks as I could to finish it off, and then I add some extra glue to give it like that drip effect on the top, because I wanted some to come down. I don't know why, I don't know, I thought it looked kind of cool. But this is my second pack of sticks. Okay, so this is the second set of wood stems that I got from the dollar store. So I went through the whole pack because I wanted to make sure that I got two pieces that were the same because I wanted this tree to be taller than the first one. So I grabbed those two pieces, made sure that they were flat because I didn't want my tree to look like it was falling. So I glued those two pieces together and then I glued that to the bottom of this tree. After I do that, I grab the golden rule and I put some on top of this tree just like I did with the other one. And then I start to add the beads, well, the flat beads that I had colored in gold to represent the ornaments on this tree. Okay, so here I am adding the flat beads to them because like I said, these are the ornaments to the tree. So I work my way up from the top to the bottom and then around. And I believe I painted about 20 of these. And they are, I can't remember what size they are, but I'll put everything in the description box below. But these were really cute. I didn't add lights to these because the other trees that I did make have lights on them already. But I think if you decide to make these and you add lights to them, they'll look just as cute. But like I said, I didn't want to add lights to these. But this actually turned out really cute. Better than what I thought actually. But if you have any comments or suggestions, please write them on the comment box below. But if you stay to the end of this video, please like and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching. To the next one. Bye. Thank you.